Hey everybody, we're going to explore a driving issue that you need to know about. What is it? Let's find out next. Hey everybody, Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave here. You know your great real estate agent by your side when it comes time to buy a home, sell a home, or even relocate to the Treasure Valley. And if you're going to relocate to the Treasure Valley, you're going to want to know what it's like to do some of the regular routine things that we do on a daily basis. So what am I talking about? In this case, it's driving around a little bit of Caldwell, coming down the boulevard into Nampa. So we're going to go through old part of Caldwell, look at some beautiful houses. We're going to drive down the street, and then we're going to end up in Old Town Nampa. So come along. So here we are. We just went by Mr. V's up there at 10th and Chicago. And now we're on 10th in Caldwell, coming up over the railroad tracks. So what we've got up here on the right is the new Old Town fixed up of Caldwell. And they have the Lux Theater over there, the plaza. You know, they have that in the wintertime, the outdoor skating rink. And in the summertime, they've got the splash pad and all sorts of. There's the river, goes right by the river walk. Good thing they put it right there, huh? And so here we come up to one of our many traffic lights. So I'm going to fast forward through these traffic lights a little bit. I mean, it's no fun sitting through them when you're actually there, so I put you guys through it. So there on the left is Los Betos, or Los Betos. I'm not sure which, but they make some pretty decent burritos. And there on the left is Hamburger Connection. That's a great place to go for, a hamburger, but also their Huckleberry Shakes are really, really nice. So now we're kind of here in the older part of Caldwell. And up here on the right, I've never been there, and maybe when you come up, we should go out there together, but there's the Odd Fellows Museum. I have no idea what that's about, other than, I know what the Odd Fellows are, but I didn't know they had a museum. And here's one of the municipal golf courses. It's on both sides of the road, and isn't it just beautiful out here? And you can get some, I guess they call them patio homes, that back right up to the golf course, so you could come out your patio door, and then dadgummit, you're going to be right there on the golf course. And over here on the right, you can see those taller buildings. That's the West Valley Medical Center, and it's just one of the local hospitals. It's one of the smaller systems that we have here. Oh, you could have made that. The big ones, of course, are St. Luke's and St. Al's, but the West Valley is really nice. And one of the things I really like about it is they have this lunch that is to die for, and it's like $5 or $6. And it's really, really good food. I mean, they want to keep their doctors happy, right? So here we are chugging down Logan. And I always remember the name of this street from that movie from the 70s. You guys, anybody watch Logan's Run? That was a fun movie, right? That was a laugh a minute, right? So here's some of the older houses. This used to be kind of the hoity-toity area after the Old Town hoity-toity area got built up. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to say like in the 60s and 70s, this is all the Rambler houses, the one stories kind of spread out. What's cool is there's still many of them that do come on the market that still have all the original everything inside, the pink sinks and maybe shag carpet and knotty pine paneling, and it's pretty cool. But now we're up here in the old part of town, and you get to see some homes from, I'm going to say anywhere from the late 1800s up through probably the 40s, maybe 50s, but probably the 40s. Look at all these big, magnificent trees. And this is a great part of town to come through any time of year, really. The fall is just spectacular when all the trees start to change. And we're going to be coming up here on the College Idaho, in just a second. And could you imagine living here and you could even ride your bike or walk to college? Or maybe you've got a few investment dollars, you want to buy an older house. Maybe it hasn't been fixed up yet, and maybe you could rent it out to some college kids. I'm sure that would make your mortgage payments. And we're just tooling around over here. So this is called the Steubenberg, I believe, historical district, named after some potentate from days gone by. I'm sure it's all over Wikipedia. But what I like is that all the homes are different. Some of them are big and kind of stately, and other ones are smaller and a little bit more reserved, but they're still none of them are the same. And then you have these tree-lined streets. It really reminds me of where I grew up, back in a small town America, where you could get on your little Huffy and just drive around and just be home by the time the streetlights came back on. And I don't know if you compare this to older parts of other towns, there's going to be some big differences. I'm going to say like an older part of Boise that would be sort of like this time frame would be the north end. And if you're over there, you can't touch a cardboard box for $1 million. It's just off the charts expensive. But it's just like this in that big trees, you have the square blocks, the sidewalks that are just built for that Huffy to go around and around and around. And then there's other places. We lived in Omaha. We lived in Sacramento. And they're older parts of town, kind of like this age right here. You wouldn't want to live in it. It's all, graffiti and homeless and gang banging central right there. So Caldwell's pretty decent. I kind of like it. So now where are we coming to? Over here on the left is the library, and I heartily endorse going there. They have a great little used book section that you can actually buy some books, so you don't have to worry about bringing them back. Sometimes they get on the reading stack, we never quite get to them. And there's the Hamburger Connection again, and that place is good. It doesn't have a dining room, although you can go inside to order, but sometimes the drive-thru will be backed up for a block. And there on the right is Los Patos. And now what I like about those guys is they remind me of Baldo's. Anybody ever been to Baldo's in Vacaville? Yeah, you didn't want to look through the window to see what it looked like in there, but boy, it sure tasted good. Actually, Los Patos kind of reminds me of right there. Just a good big burrito, not too terribly hard on the wallet. So now we're back on the boulevard, and we're going through that old section, historic section of town again. Aren't some of those homes just fabulous? Oh, those walls could talk. So we call this in the area, just call it the boulevard. It changes names quite a few times as it goes between Caldwell and Nampa. Could be Blaine, could be in Nampa, could be second or third. Sometimes it is called the Nampa-Caldwell Blvd. So we just call it the boulevard. Everybody knows what it is. And it's kind of like this diagonal line between Nampa and Caldwell, and it's very straight. And I suspect at one time, like right here where the college is, was the edge of town. Because you keep going further, you kind of get the feel that some of these things kind of grew up out in the country, and now they're kind of like in the city. And I'm thinking like there's a couple of pick and pull car lots that you wouldn't see in a city, but like I said, they probably grew up back when this was out in the country. But we'll see some more of those in a little bit. And there's a really cute little bakery just up here on the right. Watch out, buddy. And I try to, that place right there on the right. I try to stay out of there because, well, it's like, get behind me, Satan. Those donuts are looking too good. So we were on a one-way system right there, and now we're kind of merging back into where it's a two-way road. And it's the same thing down in Nampa as well. We're going to go from the two-way traffic down to it splits into a one-way traffic there by Fred Meyer's. And there's our Starbucks over there on the right. And I remember when that first opened, not too long ago, traffic was just backed up all over the place. Watch out. See, I tell you what, you ever see me at the grocery store, don't get behind me in line, because I'm going to pick the wrong lane. There's Arctic Circle, and we're going to see another one down in Nampa. Those are pretty decent to go to. It's not they got burgers and fries, but they also have a pretty decent menu of other things as well. And And it's just something different than, your normal drive-through McDonald's. So give them a shot. Now we're kind of out in that country feel place where it's starting to build up. Watch out, buddy. Use the other pedal. All sorts of car lots and stuff like that. And sheds. Sheds are pretty popular out here. You know what else is really popular out here? Is RVs. We're going to go by a few different RV lots, and I guess it's because we have such a great outdoors up here. Everyone's just itching for the weekend. Hook up the camper to the back of the pickup and just go find a little piece of heaven someplace. That sounds like fun. I could do that right now. So this is a pretty good stretch. I mean, I did speed this up a little bit because otherwise it gets kind of boring. And this way you don't have to listen to me talk for quite so long. But this is a 45 through here. So it does get moving pretty quickly. Now we're coming up on Ustick, named after Harlan P. Ustick. At the east end of this road he actually started a town called Ustick. And there's still a couple buildings. I know the original bank building in the town of Ustick is still over there. And there's Walmart on the right. Well, not that. That's a fast food place. But behind that, there's Walmart back there. Oh, look, I didn't know that. They're putting in pumps. That'll be some nice cheap gas. But Ustick is one of those roads, like several, that go all the way across the valley. So if you're over in Boise, very near to downtown, you can get on Ustick, and you can go all the way out to your, just on the outskirts of Homedale. It just goes straight. But you can also take Homedale. Well, Homedale doesn't cross the freeway, but Ustick does. So that's a pretty handy one if you can avoid going on the freeway. There's some more RVs. I told you we had a lot of RVs around here. And down there to the left, that's where the DMV is for Canyon County. And you can make appointments nowadays. And I would suggest that before you go down there to get your driver's license, go ahead and read the book. We have some different things up here. And I've got some very smart friends that said, well, I've been driving for 100 years. And they didn't pass the test up here. So read the book, and I'm sure you'll do fine. There's also a practice test on the internet. If you want a link to that, just let me know. I'll be glad to send that to you. And over there on the right are some new apartment buildings that they just built. So we've got, some more affordable housing. Maybe you're just coming up here and you need a place to stay until you get a feel for the layout. Something like that might work just fine. Of course, I do. And then on the left, there's Faith Landing. Those have been apartments for, a decade or so. And they're really nice. I've had friends that live there. But I do have friends that are property managers. So if you're looking for a place to rent, maybe like a house, let me know. I'd be glad to put you guys in touch with each other and see if they can find a place for you to stay. Or maybe you're just ready to stay in an Airbnb for 2 weeks, track down your perfect place, your perfect house, your perfect part of town, and then get you moved in. So now we're kind of in that transition period. We're going to be coming into Nampa proper. We're leaving Caldwell and coming into Nampa. Now on the right there, it's kind of a sketchy little trailer park. And I have been through there, and there is a little bit of gang stuff that goes on in there. So that's not where I would move to. But if you want to move there, let's say you're transferring from one gang in California up to here, maybe there's a place for you there. I don't know. But that's where I'd start looking. So now we're at the intersection of Middleton Road. And this is my nice little shortcut. You can take a left there, and you can go right over the freeway, and then you can hit all the points on the other side of the freeway, be it Chick-fil-A or the new In-N-Out or Costco, all sorts of places. But that's kind of like the back way. Otherwise, you can come up here in another traffic light after this one and then wait through the traffic signal and then wait for another one and then wait for another one and then get to the other side of the freeway. So here on the left, that's Winco over there and some other stores. There's the City Buffet, which is this Chinese restaurant, and it's pretty decent. The food is good, and there's a lot, and there's a big variety. And the price isn't too bad either. So if you're looking for, if you have one of those discerning palates where, you need the top of the line, you might go someplace else. But if you're looking for just some good food, and it's, a buffet, so you're in and out pretty quickly. And then there's Texas Roadhouse on the left. Over there on the right, that's the original mall, the very first mall in the entire state of Idaho. And also the Outback Steakhouse is over there. And then on the other side of that is Home Depot. And over here on the left side is Lowe's. So we got some competition going on there. There's Savers. Savers is a thrift store. And that's a pretty good place to go get used books, I understand. Not that I would know. And yeah, we made it through that intersection there with Karcher Road and the Boulevard. That's usually, if you get lucky and get through it, you're going to save a couple of minutes. If you go that way, just plan on not making it, and it's going to take a couple extra minutes. Or there's probably a half dozen other roads that you can take to get to the same place, and might be quicker, might not. I don't know. How many shortcuts do I know that actually take longer? Probably quite a few. So now we're coming into, this would be kind of like that area I would say like we had in Caldwell, where it used to be in the country and then it started growing up. So it doesn't look like a downtown area at all. But there are businesses that line this corridor. But as we keep going, we'll start to get more into the old town feel of a layout. There's some old strip malls and DQ. It's the middle of summer, you need a blizzard. It's probably the place to go. Sure do have a lot of car lots, don't we? I wonder why that is. And then on the left is new storage unit place. There's quite a few that we've gone past so far. And I guess that's important because if you're moving up here and you need a place to put your stuff until you get things all sorted out, well, guess what? We got plenty of places to choose from, probably one near you. And we just went by the Asian market. That's a pretty good place to go to get some authentic Asian food. Grocery food, not a restaurant type of a thing. And cruising here into town, coming up on the intersection with Orchard. There's Baskin Robbins. 31 flavors. Have you tried them all? I think I probably got another 28 to go. And so we're at the two-way traffic, and this next traffic light is going to be where we separate into one direction or one flow of traffic each direction. So that's kind of an indication we're getting closer to the real town of Nampa. And off to the left is Fred Meyer's. Good place. They got pumps over there. On the right there is Wheeler's. It's a local hamburger joint, but not just hamburgers. They got hamburgers in the shape of hot dogs. I guess they got hot dog buns on sale once, and they just started a thing. Also, right now they're having frog legs. I know, pretty wild, huh? And there's Les Schwab there on the right, and those are pretty decent people. Going out to job sites and whatever, oftentimes I will pick up a screw or nail on my tire, and they fix it for free. Very handy. And there on the right is the Nampa Civic Center, and across the parking lot is the Nampa City Hall. And they have some really, really decent shows over there. Big name people that come through there. I think Weird Al's coming there. And then I have a friend that's an artist, and her work gets displayed there as well. So that's kind of nice. Definitely in that one direction, one-way street going on, and coming up on downtown, down on uptown. No, I think the other way. Ooh, barely made it through those two. Watch out, it's 25, and we're not too far from the police department, so be on the lookout. There's that other Arctic Circle, and then over on the right, you see that tall brick building. The very top floor, that's Brick 29. That's a really nice restaurant. The food's good. The views are great out there, especially of an evening. You can see all the way across the valley. There on the left is the Tom Dale Memorial Parking Garage, and then the library. I say memorial. No, he's not dead yet, but that parking garage is the folly of that's going to outlive him for sure. And there's Stella's and Boise Fry there on the left. A couple of good places to go walking, and we're just a couple of blocks to the left is going to be old downtown, and a couple little strip malls. And there on the right is a brand new used bookstore. Pretty good people in there. I went out and checked them out and give them 2 thumbs up. So now that was kind of it. We're kind of like coming on through, and so if you like this and you want to see another one, I did a video from the Boise State campus up to North Meridian to see what a commute was like, and I did it right during commute time. So if you want to see that, make sure you check that out. And as always, we're looking forward to helping you get home.